A circle is a set of all points with the same distance from a fixed point called the center. It's used to name a circle. Radius is a segment whose endpoints are the center and a point on the circle. It's the distance from the center to any point on the circle. Chord is a line segment that has its endpoints on the circle. Diameter is a chord that passes through the center of the circle. It's the longest chord of a circle and its length is twice as long as its radius. Tangent line is a line, segment or array that intersects a circle at exactly one point. Point of tangency is where the tangent intersects the circle. Secant line is a line, segment or array that intersects a circle at exactly 2 points. An arc is a part of a circle between any 2 points measured in terms of degrees. A circle is in itself an arc that measures 360 degrees. Arcs can be classified as minor, semicircle and major. This is the symbol used to denote as arc. A central angle of a circle is an angle formed by 2 radii and its vertex is the center of the circle. In a circle, the measure of the central angle is always equal to the measure of its intersected arc. The measure of an arc formed by 2 adjacent non-overlapping arcs, arcs that share exactly 1 point, is equal to the sum of the measures of these 2 arcs. An intercepted arc is created when lines or subset of a line cuts across a section of the circumference of a circle. The measure of a central angle of a circle is equal to the measure of its intersected arc. In a circle or in congruent circles, 2 minor arcs are congruent only if their corresponding central angles are congruent. The sum of the measures of the central angles of a circle with no common interior points is 360 degrees. Inscribed angle is an angle whose vertex is on the circle and whose sides contain chords of the circle. Intercepted arc of an angle is the arc that lies in the interior of an inscribed angle and has endpoints on the angle. If an angle is inscribed in a circle, then the measure of the angle is equal to 1/2 the measure of its intersected arc. If 2 inscribed angles intercept the same arc, then the angles are congruent. If an inscribed angle of a circle intercepts a semicircle, then the angle is a right angle. If a quadrilateral is inscribed in a circle, then the opposite angles are supplementary. Angle formed by 2 secant lines, intersecting 2 secants. The measure of the angle formed by 2 secants intersecting outside the circle is 1/2 the difference of its intersected arcs. Angle formed by 2 tangent lines. If 2 tangents intersect in the exterior of a circle, then the measure of the angle formed is 1/2 the positive difference of the measures of the intersected arcs. If a secant and a tangent intersect in the exterior of a circle, then the measure of the angle formed is 1/2 the difference of the measures of the intercepted arcs. If a secant and a tangent intersect at the point of tangency, then the measure of each angle formed is 1/2 the measure of the intersected arc. If 2 secants intersect in the interior of a circle, then the measure of the angle formed is 1/2 the sum of the measures of the arcs intersected by the angle and its vertical angle. If 2 chords of a circle intersect, then the product of the measures of the segments of one chord is equal to the product of the measures of the segments and the other chord. If 2 secant segments are drawn to a circle from an exterior point, then the product of the lengths of one secant segment and its external secant segment is equal to the product of the lengths of the other secant segment and its external secant segment. If a tangent segment and a secant segment are drawn to a circle from an exterior point, then the square of the length of the tangent segment is equal to the product of the lengths of the secant segment and its external secant segment. An arc length is a portion of the circumference of a circle. You can use the measure of an arc in degrees to find its length in linear units. It's the length of part of the circumference. The length of the arc depends on the measure of the arc or the size of the circle. If a circle was filled with pizza, a sector would be a slice. A sector of a circle is the region bounded by an arc of the circle and 2 radii to the endpoints of the arc. A segment of a circle is the region bounded by an arc and segment joining its endpoints. Standard form, general form. Let's write the equation of a circle in standard form, given its graph. Now let's write the equation of the circle in center radius form whose center is at 6, 7 and contains the point 2, 4. Now we will use the distance formula, midpoint formula and the equation of a circle with this one.